For, like, forever, the Honda CR-V has been that go-to family SUV. You know, it's the one you recommend to your friends without even thinking twice. But for 2026, things are getting interesting. The competition is seriously heating up, so we've got to ask, is the default choice still the best choice? Let's get into it. Look, the CR-V got to the top by just nailing the basics, right? It's been known for rock-solid reliability, amazing comfort, and just being incredibly practical. But the game is changing, and it's changing fast. You've got a completely redesigned Toyota RAV4 coming for the crown, so the real question now isn't just if the CR-V is a good car, but is it still the undisputed king? Okay, first things first, let's make sense of the lineup. Now, Honda gives you 7 different trim levels, which I know sounds like a lot, but it really just boils down to 3 main choices about what's under the hood. So you've basically got 3 flavors to pick from. Your first option is the standard 1.5-liter turbo. It's the dependable workhorse, you know, a solid 190 horsepower. Then, if you want to save some money at the pump, the 2-motor hybrid is definitely the move. It actually bumps you up to 204 horsepower and gets you way better mileage. And for 2026, there's the new Trail Sport, which gives you all that hybrid goodness but with a more rugged, outdoorsy vibe. All right, let's step inside because the interior is where the CR-V has always been a superstar. This is its signature strength, and it feels like for 2026, Honda just doubled down on what makes a car genuinely great to live with day in and day out. And you know, this quote from Edmunds just hits the nail on the head. It just makes sense. The CR-V's cabin isn't trying to be super flashy or futuristic. It's just designed to work for real life. It's roomy, it's practical, and it makes everything from a school run to a trip to the hardware store just a little bit easier. And that's not just, some empty praise. Edmunds backs it up with an incredible 8.8 out of 10 rating for comfort. I mean, for mainstream SUV, a score that high is practically unheard of. It says a ton about the seats, the ride quality, and just the whole vibe inside the cabin. It's built for real people, not just for a car show. So what does a score like 8.8 actually get you? Well, it means you get a whopping 41 inches of rear legroom. That's best in class. It means the back doors swing open almost 90 degrees, which is a lifesaver if you're installing a car seat. It means you get actual physical knobs for the climate control. Thank you, Honda. So you're not fumbling with the touchscreen. And with the seats down, you get this massive 76.5 cubic feet of cargo space. It's all those little thoughtful things that add up. But hey, comfort isn't everything, right? Especially in a family SUV, safety is absolutely crucial. So let's see how the CR-V does there. And then, it's time for the main event, a head-to-head showdown with its biggest rival, the all-new 2026 Toyota RAV4. When it comes to safety, the CR-V is an absolute top performer. It gets good ratings, that's the best you can get, from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in all the really tough crash tests. And just as important, the headlights on all trims get a good rating, which is something a lot of other cars cheap out on. Yeah, the child seat anchors are just acceptable for ease of use, but overall, this is a really, really safe vehicle. Okay, and this right here, this is the core dilemma if you're shopping for one of these. The CR-V sticks to what it does best, an amazing ride, that's super practical interior, and it's even a little more fun to drive. But the new RAV4 is coming in hot, attacking on tech and efficiency. It makes its hybrid powertrain standard, it offers these huge touchscreens, and it even has a built-in dashcam on every single model. That's a first for this class. And let's put a hard number on that efficiency advantage. The CR-V hybrid gets a fantastic 40 miles per gallon combined. No complaints there. But the RAV4 standard hybrid system is estimated to hit 44 mpg. Now, that 10% difference might not sound like a huge deal, but trust me, over a few years of ownership, that really adds up at the gas station. Now, in the spirit of full transparency, we have to mention this. There's been a class action lawsuit filed up in Canada about some alleged head gasket issues in the 1.5-liter turbo engine. And yes, that's the same engine you'll find in the non-hybrid CR-Vs. Honda's long-term reliability is legendary for sure, but it's just something to be aware of if you're thinking about the gas model. But Honda has this ace up its sleeve that nobody else can touch. It's a really unique, super forward-thinking model that kind of gives us a peek into what the future might look like. So, say hello to the CR-V EFC EV. It's America's very first plug-in hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle. It sounds really complicated, I know, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It combines 2 different zero-emission technologies in one SUV, giving you the best of both worlds. So how would you actually use this thing? Well, for your day-to-day commute and errands, you just plug it in at home and you've got about 29 miles of pure electric range.
But then, if you're taking a long road trip, you just pull into a hydrogen station and refuel the whole thing in like 3 to 5 minutes, basically the same as filling up a gas tank. And the whole time, the only thing coming out the back is water vapor. Pretty cool, right?
Now, to get people to actually try this brand new tech, Honda's offering a wild incentive. If you lease one of these, they give you a complimentary hydrogen fuel card with a value of up to $15,000. That is a massive bonus that makes jumping into the future a whole lot easier.
Of course, there's always a catch, and this one's a big one. Because there aren't many hydrogen refueling stations yet, you can only lease the CR-V EFC EV if you live in California. So for now, you can think of it as a really fascinating real-world experiment.
Okay, let's pull all of this together. We've looked at the engines, the incredible comfort, the great safety scores, and that big showdown with the RAV4. So at the end of the day, how do you decide?
So here's the bottom line. The 2026 Honda CR-V is still the undisputed champion of just being easy to live with. If you care most about a comfortable ride, tons of cargo space, and a car that feels good to drive, the CR-V is your winner. But if your main goal is to get the best possible gas mileage and have the latest and greatest tech in your dashboard, then yeah, the new Toyota RAV4 probably takes the lead. And that really brings it all back to you and one final question. There's no single right answer for everyone, it just depends on what you value most. So what is it? Is it that unmatched everyday comfort and clever design that just makes life a little easier? Or is it the absolute best fuel economy and the biggest, newest tech? The choice is yours.